Day 5 of the road to 100K, and we're doing another tier list, one of the final tier lists on the channel. We're almost done. Probably next week we'll finish them up, but I figured today was a Friday. I got 2 bangers coming out this weekend, so I'm gonna spend most of my time today working on those videos and just do something quick and easy for you guys today that you'll enjoy, which is gonna be doing a tier list ranking the right fielders in Major League Baseball. As always with these videos, if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. That's the best way to support the channel. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, this is the place to be. Make sure to hit that sub button. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on my tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree with my rankings? Was I too fair? Was I harsh? Let me know in the comments down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. And if you guys are going to any sporting events, remember to go to SeatGeek.com or use the app. When you go to checkout, use the code Giraffe to save yourself $20 off your first purchase. So let's just get going right into this tier list, and we're getting it started off with a top player in the game, Mookie Betts. Now, while Mookie Betts isn't having a great season this year, he's still very productive, and it would be ridiculous to put him anywhere but S. He's one of the top players in the game still, despite the slow start to this year. He won the MVP in 2018. He's a great fielder. He gets on base, hits for power. He does it all. Mookie Betts is a star player in the league. Definitely S tier, just struggling a bit this year. Nomar Mazara is a tricky player. Hits for a decent average. His power is okay. He's probably C. He's probably a bit of an average player. His OPS plus is below 100. His OPS is like in the 700s, so he's not bad by any means. He's just not a great player right now. Doesn't really walk. He's a bit inconsistent. I think he has the potential to be a better player, but I'm still waiting to see that. He's going to be in the C tier. Adam Eaton, while I think he's a very solid player and I think he's a nice 2-hitter, his numbers kind of disagree with making him go into the B tier category right now. Again, hits for a decent average, gets on base a little bit, pretty much has no power. He's pretty much a singles hitter, not really stealing bases as much either as he used to. He's a corner outfielder now. C, he's probably average as well. For Max Kepler and the Twins, he is playing at an A caliber outfielder right now. He's playing fantastic, but in the past he's been at the C level, and while I think this year is probably more of the slope that we're going to see his career go on, he's probably going to be getting better. I'm going to put him right in between those two at B, just to be a little bit fair. He has had 3 or 4 seasons of being an average outfielder, and this was really his breakout, and while again, like I said, I think he's on the upward slope, I just can't put him at A just yet. I'm going to drop him in B. Franmil Reyes, ooh. This boy can hit a home run or two. I think he has 25 homers on the year. His power is crazy. He's a very large man. He has an OPS sitting around 864 in the outfield defensively. He's okay. He's not very good out there, but he can swing the bat for some power. He's very productive for the Padres at the plate. So that's what gets him into B. He's towards the lower end of it because he's not very good in the field. But I think offensively, his numbers are just so good that it pushes him up into B. Cody Bellinger. I honestly didn't think I would be saying this before the season started. He's a very good player, but I didn't think he'd be one of the best in the game. That's Jay Bruce. What are we doing? I wanted Cody Bellinger. But he is going up into the S tier. You can't put up those kind of numbers and just say it was a fluke. Not to mention the amazing rookie season he had. Not to mention the lackluster season he had last year, but still, the numbers were actually not that bad, just not as we expected. Cody Bellinger's numbers this year are just crazy. I can't ignore it. He's clearly an S tier type player. I don't think Jay Bruce was originally in this spot here, but I dragged him in there because I thought I was grabbing Cody Bellinger. I'm going to put Jay Bruce in the C category. He's not even really much of an outfielder anymore. He's really a DH and a pinch hitting type bat. He just doesn't move the same like he used to, and that's a big problem. And while he is hitting a ton of home runs, that's pretty much it that he's doing, so I think I have to put him in the C category. He's towards the back end of his career now. He's getting hurt a bit. He's a little slower than he once was. I'm going to drop him in C. For Steven Duggar, I'm going to drop him in the D category. He's not completely useless to go into F. He's having a bit of a hard time at the plate. This dude can definitely run. He's got a lot of speed, so he just needs to put the ball on ground, get on base, and he can cause a lot of havoc. He's pretty good out in the outfield defensively, actually, but he just doesn't do a lot with the bat, so I'm going to drop him in D tier. Josh Reddick for me of the Houston Astros is going to go into that B tier. He's having a very nice year at the plate. He's been a pretty consistent hitter throughout his entire career, pretty much average, above average there. He's also great in right field defensively. He's got a cannon of an arm, does a good job out there in right field, so I think he goes into the B category. Not closer to A, closer to C, but still a very good player. Mitch Haniger has been disappointing to say the least this year, but he also has no protection around him in that lineup, so he's definitely getting attacked a little bit. I think he's a B tier player. I think he's a very good guy. Not yet that A level where you're talking like all-star every single season kind of thing, but I think Mitch Haniger is a good young outfielder, deserves to be in B. Jose Martinez, if we're just talking hitting, he's probably a B or A type player because he is a really good hitter, but you gotta include defense in this, and he is one of the worst outfielders in the entire game of baseball. That's not his position. He has no idea how to field. He has no reaction skills. He can't get ground balls out there. He can't catch fly balls. he's rough out in the outfield, and he's even gotten a little bit better recently. His hitting just can't carry him enough to get him higher than C because he really truly is a liability in the outfield. Bryce Harper is a good player. I love to give Philly guys a lot of trouble because he's not playing that well. He's not elite right now, and I don't think necessarily he is an elite player because he has been struggling a little bit. I think he's in the A tier. I still think he's one of the better outfielders in the game. He's an all-star caliber player. I think eventually he's going to get to that elite tier, but right now, something's going on where he is struggling a little bit at the plate. I know he's got a high on-base percentage, but you want to see the guy hit the ball a little bit more. So I think I'm going to drop him in A right now, but obviously he's a very good player and can easily go into S again. Avisail Garcia is tough too because he really is a DH. He's not very good in the outfield. I want to put him in B, but I think he's the highest end of C. Like, I think he's pretty much that borderline there. Another guy who just has almost no value defensively in the field. His numbers are kind of all over the place. I'm going to drop him to C because of a lack of a consistency, and he's just bad in the field. Jorge Soler is definitely having a breakout season, but his numbers still aren't really exciting. Ton of power, crazy amounts of power, but he's still hitting for a low average. He's horrible out in the outfield. So I'm going to drop him in C. I know he's comparable to Franmil Reyes, but I think Reyes truly is a better player than Jorge Soler, which is why I have him in B and Soler in C. Trey Mancini, the Orioles, having a nice season for the Orioles, especially when there's no one to protect him in that lineup. He's going to go in the B tier for me. I think he's a solid player. I think you get him out of Baltimore, he probably gets a little more recognition, might even get some better numbers, although it is a hitter's ballpark, so maybe his power numbers go down a bit. Regardless, Trey Mancini is a nice little player here, needs to get out of Baltimore so people start to know him more. B tier. Jason Hayward. I'm going to drop Jason Hayward in the D tier. He's not very good. He doesn't start on the Cubs, and he's getting paid a lot of money. I mean, he's not their everyday player. He gets a lot of time, but he's not this starter always. Great defensively, and that's about it. At the plate, not much. He doesn't hit for power. He doesn't hit for great average. He gets on base a little bit. Jason Hayward's such a disappointment. Maybe it's a little harsh in D, but that's what I feel right now. He's just not great. Tyler Naquin of the Indians, average. Injuries have been a problem for him, so staying on the field and being healthy is always a concern. So, Tyler Naquin, just not a lot. He was kind of promising that first year he came up, but been a bit of a disappointment since then. He's going to go in the C tier. Ryan Cordell's going to go in the F tier for the White Sox. Doesn't really offer a lot, hasn't shown a lot of promise for the White Sox. He's not even particularly good in the outfield, so not much to talk about with him. Billy McKinney is another player that's going to go in the F tier again, just not a particularly good player. He's playing there for the Blue Jays because of sheer circumstance. He's not a starting right fielder on most teams. He's a bench bat at best, really, so I'm going to put Billy McKinney in the F tier. Aaron Judge is obviously going to go in the S tier. He's one of the best players in the game. Probably a top 10 player, just sheer talent-wise. I don't remember what I ranked him. But Aaron Judge is obviously one of the best players in the game. Crazy power, great plate discipline. He does strike out a bit, but he also walks a ton. He plays a great right field for the Yankees. Aaron Judge is one of the top players in the game. Brian Anderson playing third base again, but he was a right fielder for last year, and I think when this was made, he was probably playing right field. I'm going to put Brian Anderson I think I'm going to put him in the lower tier of B. He's actually one of the young players that the Marlins have that's somewhat useful, somewhat exciting right now. Cannon of an arm. He actually is a pretty good little player, and again, in a lineup that just has zero protection, he's doing pretty well for himself, so I think he's a B tier player. Closer to C, but I think he's B right now. Nick Markakis is also going to find himself in the very popular B tier for right fielders right now. I think he's a very good outfielder, pretty solid. He does all the little things you need for your team. Just a consistent player. You know what you're going to get out of him every single year. Play great in the outfield, going to consistently hit right around 280, 300, get on base, drive and runs, whatever you need, he's going to do it. Nick Markakis is a good player. So Melky's a weird player. He's hitting 300 this year, but he has almost no power, and he doesn't walk, he doesn't get on base, doesn't offer much in the outfield. It's really tough for me to put him anywhere higher than C, so I think I'm going to drop him in C. I'll at least put him a little bit higher up so it's not crazy, but he just hits for a good average, gets on base at first base, and then kind of clogs the bases because he's slow. Melky, I don't really know where to put this guy. You can't really get upset if I put him at C, honestly. Melky Cabrera, like, he's not even really a starting right fielder in Major League Baseball, so it is what it is. Gregory Polanco hasn't played much in 2019, which is why you see Melky Cabrera getting so much time, but when he is healthy, he actually had a really nice season last year. Average around 260, but he's getting a lot of extra base hits. The dude is so lanky and fast and such an interesting player to watch. I think he's actually a really good player and has the potential to turn into one of the top right fielders in the game. It's just a matter of staying healthy for him and whether or not he can be consistent enough. But right now, based on what I've seen from him, I'm going to drop him in B tier. I'm also going to drop Alex Verdugo, who I interviewed. He's a nice guy, super awesome dude, in the B tier as well. Really having a great rookie season, hitting for average, hitting for some power, getting on base, doing it all. Alex Verdugo has finally shown why he was considered as one of the top prospects in the Dodgers organization, as well as all of baseball. He's a really good player, B tier. Now for Ben Zobrist, this is a weird one because in right field, I think think he's a C tier kind of player, but if you put him at second base, he's higher. You put him at other positions, it depends. His real value comes at the ability to play a bunch of different positions. He's not elite at any particular one, but when you put him at all these different spots and you have the ability to move him around, that's where his true value is. So while he's a C in right field, in my opinion, it doesn't mean I think he's a C type of player. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. Austin Meadows, again, another one of these tough players because A or B for him. He's an all-star this year, playing really well, but I think he goes into B. Again, you got to be able to do a little bit of both. He's pretty atrocious out in right field, not great out there. He's probably more of a DH type player as well in his future. He can definitely hit for some power though, has some pop in his bat. A nice year. Haven't seen enough out of him to put him in A just yet, but he's one of the young players in the league. He can definitely make his way on up. Now, Charlie Blackmon. Charlie Blackmon's going to go into A for me. Elite at the plate. Elite, especially when it comes to playing at home in Coors. I think his average in Coors this year is like 450 or something. Crazy type numbers. Away, a little worse. He has about one of the weakest arms I've ever seen in the outfield. Can't reach the cutoff, man. But you can't deny what he does at the plate with his bat. He's amazing swinging that thing, so we're going to put him in A. Adam Jones. Throw some respect on my boy Adam Jones. His name right there. Drop him in B tier. Everyone doubted this guy. He was done. He was washed. No one wanted him this offseason. And what has he done this year? He has done what he does every single year. He's on pace for his 20 homers, 80 RBIs, a bunch of doubles, 260 to 280 batting average, an OPS around the 750 to 800 range. He's just a solid player year in and year out. You know what you're getting from him. He ain't washed. He's still good. Michael Conforto. Also going to drop Michael Conforto in the B. Now, while he's been disappointing to me this year because he gets so hot and then he gets so cold and then he gets hurt and then he gets cold again, he has so much potential and he still has pretty good numbers on the year. Average a little bit lower than I'd like, but he gets on base like crazy. He actually plays a really good outfield in right field. Center field, different story. He's not a center fielder. He does have pop in his bat for power. I think he's B tier, but he needs to start showing me a little bit more. Yasiel Puig. Yasiel Puig has the ability to go into this S or A tier because he is that good of a player. He has that much talent, but he's in the C tier. He doesn't do it consistently enough. This year with the Reds, started off slow, he got hot, then he got slow again, then he's hot again. He's just got a lack of consistency. His numbers haven't been great, especially in a contract year. You expected him to really go to that next level, be one of the reasons why the Reds are competitive, but his numbers just aren't that good. C tier. Cole Calhoun's also going to find his way into the C tier. He's great defensively in right field, got a cannon of an arm. He's starting to hit for more power this year, but again, who isn't hitting for power this year? Not that different than a lot of these guys who are in the C tier range. Just a nice, solid center fielder, but I don't necessarily think he gets to that next level to be B. Nick Castellanos is going to go into the B tier. Not great defensively, but he has been improving for sure, and he's got a great bat at the plate. Hits for a pretty decent average, got some pop in his bat, he gets on base. I think he's going to be a player the Tigers look to move this trade deadline, so don't be surprised if you see him go to your favorite team, because he is a big bat that could help a team. Christian Yelich, yeah, let's put him in his own tier if I want to make one. Not really, because I think it screws up the whole formatting of this video and the sizing that I have. But I'm going to put him in S, by far the best. He is the second best player in baseball right now. It's Mike Trout, and then it's Christian Yelich. He's number 2. He's definitely past Mookie Betts. He's crazy. He's on another level right now. He's so incredibly locked in this last, year that he's been playing. He's so good. S tier. For Stephen Piscotty, I'm also going to drop him in the C tier. Bang on average. Honestly, not a lot to say about him. If you looked up the definition of an average right fielder, boom, Stephen Piscotty. He's not going to make your team much better, but he's definitely not going to make your team worse. He's just serviceable out there. He's decent. Giancarlo's going to go into the A tier for me. I know he's been hurt this year, and Yankee fans expected more out of him, but this was an MVP a couple years ago. He still had a very nice season for the Yankees last year when you look at his numbers, and if he was healthy this year, he definitely continued to be playing well. So I think it's kind of crazy to put him anywhere else besides A, one of the best power hitters in the game. He's not bad in the outfield. It's not like he can't play out there. That's what he did with the Marlins. And then JD Martinez, similar to Stanton, and I should have said this more earlier, but he's going to be playing DH. JD Martinez, of course, a DH. So I can't put him in S because he's a DH because he can't field out there. He's rough. His bat is definitely elite, but fielding is important as well. So if we're talking about right field, I have to drop him in A. One of the best straight up hitters in the game. Like pure hitting wise, he's one of the top of the top. But when you include everything in it, takes him down a little bit because his fielding is so bad. So I think he's an S tier player at DH, but in right field, he goes to A. So that's going to be my tier list for right fielders in Major League Baseball. I would love to know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Did I put anyone in the wrong tier? Do you think I'm overhyping or underhyping someone? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. That's the best way to support the channel. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, this is the place to be. Make sure to hit that sub button. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. And of course, if you use SeatGeek, remember to use the code Giraffe at checkout to save yourself $20. That's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow, we've got some big videos coming for you, so keep an eye out for those. But for now, YouTube recommends you watch this video as well, as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.